How's it going? Bladester is working to bring you specifications you can relate to so you can make an educated decision on your purchases. This is from drop.com, so thank you for providing it to the Pass Around group. Also, check out the Charitable Giveaway that's still going on. So if you're watching this before August 9th, then you can actually get into the giveaway for it. It's $1,225 worth of prizes, and it just takes a donation. So to donate, and then email over to bladebanter@hotmail.com. So I set up a different email address just for the giveaway. So that's where you can do that. But yeah, $1,200 now worth of knives, 7 knives. So you can donate. There's no minimums for it, and then get into that giveaway for that either through St. Jude's Hospital or the Wounded Warriors Project. So this one here is the Bob Terzuola ATCF, Advanced Technology Combat Folder. So that is this one here. So this one actually is one of the higher end ones out of the lineup. So it starts the G10 version, and then this one is the silver twill carbon fiber, which I kind of have an affinity for. So I do like it quite a bit for the actual handle finish. So this one has a S35 VN blade, so a good choice there for the blade steel. Also the weight comes in at 4.1 ounces for it. And then we're going to look at some of the hand sizing. So if you actually pick up the blade and you're wondering, well, how's that going to be in my hand? So that's why we have the hand sizing chart, so you can actually lay it down and you can see where it's going to be for you. So start off with the adult female hand, then we'll roll into also the adult male's hand to see where that's going to fit for yourself. So pricing wise for this is going to be a G10 version is $159. These are built by we, so it is a drop.com knife produced by we. So you can actually see they do have their proprietary pivot now. Not proprietary, but their drop pivot, because it actually is just a regular Torx head on this side. And then it does have their logo, which is a D for drop.com. So that is going to be on the We Built knives. So that's something that is pretty cool for that. A lot of people had issues with the billboarding, so they went away from billboarding and then actually just have basically their own pivot, and then the maker's mark, which is Bob's insignia on that side. So that's the pricing on that one. So $199 for this one for the silver twill carbon fiber. And then for the pull gauge, we'll see as far as how this is for the weight. So normally about 2 to 3 pounds is a pretty good amount for what I found to be pretty comfortable. So we'll see as far as where this one sits for the weight on this one. And then it does have a fairly small flipper tab on the back of it. It did slip off of there. Try that one more time. So 2 pounds, 14.2 ounces. So it's just right in that 3 ounce mark. So that does have a pretty good flipping action for it. The tab is fairly small. It does have a little bit of jimping on top of it. So you can flip it out fairly well. If you do do it slightly, this one actually does, when the blade comes around, it actually pushes your finger a little bit for it if you don't really rake down on it. So that's one thing that has kind of an interference there in a sense. But it doesn't interfere too much, but it is just noticeable as far as if you don't break it down far enough, then your finger just gets pushed out of the way slightly when this blade comes around. So that's one thing with that. So now this one has a few different deployment methods for it. It's kind of an odd deployment too, because with the way the scales are set up, it actually does deploy differently. So this has the light switch, what I was just showing you there, and then it has basically right hand. You can do a thumb stud deployment for it. You can't do it on the left hand, or at least I can't, because the scale doesn't allow for it as far as getting really in there. So basically in the left hand is basically the middle finger flick for it. And then you do have the inertia. So some people have, I guess, concern about basically it shaking open. So it doesn't shake open, but it does inertia flip open. So you can actually, it's really a very purposeful shake open. So I'll try and get that on camera there, but so it's very much a force. So basically you're overcoming that 2 pounds, almost 3 pounds, and that's what you're doing with that. So it's not going to shake open, so you're actually just shaking it. It's not going to come open for it. But if you're going to want to deploy it, then you can actually shake it open, actually still have a really good grip on it as well. So that's why I don't have too much issue with it if I find a knife that can do that. It's just another deployment method for it as far as inertia, and not really a shake open for that. So you can still do a two-hand deployment if you want to go a little bit slower for it, if you don't want to have it be really quick flip open for that deployment. So about 3.38 inches for the blade. So it is a tanto blade for that. So it comes in specification-wise for 3.4, and then it is a flat grind on both sides, basically on the tip, as well as down on the primary bevel for the blade. So it is a 4mm blade stock as well. So it is fairly thick for this one, and it does have to ramp up quite a bit from the edge here all the way up to this mark here. So it's not a full grind or full flat, which would bring that degree down a little bit more. So it does have to ramp up there quite a bit for that, and it does kind of change the way that it does cut as well. So at least what I have noticed for that. And then this one, it does have for behind edge thickness, so it's going to be about 26 thousandths that I measured for this angle, and that's going to be about 8 sheets of paper. And then it's going to be about 30 thousandths for the tip, and that's going to be about, well, actually opposite of that. So 26 thousandths and about 7 sheets, and about 30 thousandths and 8 sheets for the tip of it. So that's going to be how that works there. And for the degree of ramp, so basically from the point where it's disengaged into where the detent ball is actually on the blade, that's going to be about 20 degrees. So it actually works out pretty well for that. It gets onto the blade before it makes contact with your thumb when you're releasing, so it does actually make for a very good deployment for that, or a closure where you're not having to fight with it or get it past your thumb that's actually releasing the lock. So that's a really good degree of release for that. Right hand tip up carry for this one only. Sharpness side, it came in at 309 for the sharpness, and then that's going to be a mid-range new high-end cutlery. So not the best initial edge on it for that. So you basically have that edge, plus you do have that ramp up to that 4mm blade stock. So the degree that they actually have the secondary bevel is going to be about 38 degrees inclusive, so about 19 degrees per side. So it is more of a purpose-built, more tactical type of design for it. So it's not really having that really a thin edge for that. So that's where you're going to have to decide as far as where it's going to be for you, what you like, what you enjoy for the blade itself. So that's where, at the end of the day, for myself, I would say to borrow. It's one that I really like as far as the scale goes, so basically that silver twill. But for me, it's not going to be one that I would say definitely go out and get it because of basically the performance on my side. As far as what I like the blade to do, it doesn't really do it for me as far as what I like. So as you see, as far as the infinity for some of the blades in silver twill, we have this one here, which is the mini griptilian. And then we have this one, which is the blur. And not silver twill, but just for sizing wise, we have the code 4. So those are the type of things there. So let me know as far as the description down, or the comments down below, as far as what to think for that. And then do check out drop.com, and then also the charitable giveaway if you're still within that time frame. Even if you're not, I mean, support some of those organizations as well. So great groups, and then they do a lot of good work as well. So thank you very much. Let me know in the comments down below, and have a great night.